Hey guys, oh my gosh, I am so mad right now because I had started recording this and I was about done. There's 12 questions and I'd gotten to number 9 and my mom called and it just stopped the video. So I'm gonna start again. I got home from work today and I literally just jumped in the bed and went to sleep at like 4 o'clock. And so I felt like I was trying to convince myself I didn't need to do this tonight. I was like, no, they can wait till tomorrow, it's fine. I was like, no, Emily, you promised. And I did. So I am getting this done for you guys tonight. The Q&A video, a lot of you sent in questions. Some of them were the same, so I condensed them down if it was really similar, or I could answer it like lumped together. So, okay, let's do this again. What got you into cosplay? In 2010, I was dating somebody that told me. If you guys know me, you know that I'm dating Ross, and we have been together for about 5 years. If you count backwards, 2010 is 5 years from this date. So this person that I was dating was very controlling, and it took this situation to kind of snap me out of it, because I was young. We had dated since high school, and it was sort of that kind of situation. So Ross had gone to SegoyCon in Fort Mitchell, Kentucky in 2009. It was in October. And he had a really good time. So they were going to go to another one, which was OMGCon in Paducah at the time. And he invited me to go. So I asked permission from my ex, and he asked me who was going. And I said that Ross and his friends, and he said, I think you know the answer to that. And so in my head, I just kind of I was like, wait a second. I shouldn't have to ask you permission. I'm a grown-ass woman. So I broke up with him that night. And the next day, we made plans to go to OMGCon, me and Ross. And we had been watching Death Note, and he knew a little bit about cosplay because he had been to SegoyCon, but I knew nothing. So we kind of helped each other. So we decided, I don't really remember my thought process when I decided I'm going to make Light Yagami a girl. That's going to be great. But I did. And so I went to Goodwill, and I think I got the entire costume. I got the jacket and the skirt for about $5 total, and I couldn't find a white button down that fit me, so I got that from Walmart, and that was $12. That was like the most expensive part of the costume. So we got that together, and he had a black suit already. He dyed his hair. He surprised me when I went over to his house to pick him up. I was driving, and he had dyed his hair black for the first time, and actually he never really dyed it back. So I don't know. I'm kind of rambling here, but so Ross got me into cosplay, and he kind of got me out of a bad situation, and we're really happy and a cosplay couple, and that's that's the best way to be. But yeah, so number 2, what was your most embarrassing wardrobe malfunction? I have not had a serious issue with nip slips or what have you, but my Charizard wings tended to, after a long period of wearing them, the joints, like the elbows of the PVC pipe, would start to fall away from each other, or slide down and not stay upright. So that wasn't embarrassing so much as just frustrating because I have to take the whole thing off and then fix it and retape it and then have someone help me put it back in. That costume is, I need to figure out a better way to do that if I revamp it, because I can't do it by myself. Oh, something funny. At OMGCon in 2010, I was light and I had a little skirt that it had like shorts built into it, but it was still pretty short. I think it's a girl's size. Like, I got it and it was like a youth size, so I'm not sure why it fit me, but it did, and it was just really short. So I was like, oh, it has those shorts built in, it's fine. And apparently I was walking down the steps and there were these two moms talking, and as we passed them, I heard one of them say something something something, her butt cheek hanging out. And I looked at Ross and I said, was she talking about me? And he goes, no, no, no. And then like 2 years later he told me that, yeah, she was talking about me. So that was nice to learn finally. But I think a butt cheek is acceptable. Like, I can deal with that for my life from a random mom. What is your best memory from cosplaying? I don't really have a best memory. I started rambling in the first video that I made. I really love when kids come up to me. Like, that's always really cool because there's no pretense with kids. Like, if they like your costume, you're good. You did a good costume. If they come up and tell you that you look cool or you look beautiful or whatever, that's always like the truest feedback you can get. But the best part is when you guys come up to me and tell me that you like follow my page or that you know me like in advance. That's always just the coolest thing in the world. It blows my mind. I even ran into someone on Omegle. We both put cosplay as our like shared interest, and they knew who I was. Like, I think they were in Ohio or something, and they knew my Charizard costume, and that was just insanely amazing. So always please feel free to come up and get a hug or get a picture and, you know, introduce yourself, because I love meeting you. I love, you know, I've met and become friends with and formed really strong relationships with so many people that I would not have known otherwise. And I was telling somebody that the other day, but it's really, really a great feeling when people not only appreciate your work, but remember it and attribute that to you. So thank you if you've done that in the past. It really makes my whole year. Okay. What is the hardest part of being a cosplayer? Finding the motivation with work, and I have like a 9-to-5 job, and then I have little after hours jobs that I pick up from Craigslist and stuff. So there's really not a lot of time, and then I have a house to clean, and I have, you know, pets to fight with, and Faust likes to get on the furniture, and where we've got our costume pieces, and like anytime you roll fabric out on the ground, that's his new bed. Great. Perfect. So yeah, the hardest part is I feel like when I have a costume in the works for you guys, I feel like I'm on a little bit of a deadline, and with Azula, I've tried to like cut myself back from that because it was stressing me out so bad. So I don't want you guys to get, you know, bored with me wearing the same costumes over and over, or you know, waiting on something to get finished. I'm definitely running behind this year on what my goals were, but I'm gonna try to not, you know, stress about this, because cosplay is supposed to be fun. Okay, what is your dream cosplay, regardless of cost and complexity? That's really tough. Like, I don't think I have anything like in the works in my like future cosplay list that's completely outlandish right now. I guess the Charlotte Thornton from Nancy Drew, that one is going to be pretty tough. Her dress is very voluminous and really, really like delicate. So I think, you know, where Victory Express I used cotton, and that wasn't, you know, it was a tough project, but it was not painstaking. Me and Kat just waited too long to actually work on it, so we ended up pulling all-nighters. But I think that one's going to be really, really tricky, and I'm still not sure if I'm going to do it because the Nancy Drew fan base is so limited. Like, I don't want to put a whole lot of work into a costume that, like, and this sounds horrible, but I don't want to not get recognized, you know? Because that's a big problem I run into with Megami. Like, it looks cool, but nobody knows who she is, so that's always a little bit like, disheartening, I guess. You know, I love wearing it, and I have, you know, a lot of fun doing photo shoots and showing people Shiki, and I've showed a lot of people Nancy Drew too, within Get Geeky and stuff, but it's just always kind of sad when you get to a con and you've put a lot of work into something and 5 people total ever know who you are. So, and Victory was like that too. But yeah, so Charlotte Thornton, I guess, is right now my dream cosplay. But okay, do you love or hate wigs? I definitely don't hate them. They're not the most comfortable things in the world, but I mean, I guess it's a necessary evil if you want. I learned the other day that some people dye their hair multiple times in a weekend for a costume, and I'm just like, please, don't do that. That's so bad for you. So yeah, like, that's definitely, you know, wigs save you from having to do that. You know, even Asami, like, I was sort of planning on using just my hair when I was planning that out, and it's, 1, my hair can't hold curl worth anything, and 2, it's not the right length. If I did curl it, it would be, like, up to here. So, I mean, it's really convenient to be able to put whatever hair on that you want. So yeah, I guess I love wigs. What is my favorite cosplay so far? Oh gosh. I don't know. I really, really love Megami. Like, I love being that character. But probably my best... Okay, I guess going back to the best memory from cosplaying, when I was Daenerys for Halloween last year, we went to the bars, and there were a lot of drunk college kids that had just gotten out of I think it was a Garth Brooks concert, and so they were all just ready. They were they were ready to party. It was Halloween night. It was they were at a bar and they just got out of the concert. So I had people literally like bowing to me and screaming "Khaleesi" from across the bar. And I had one girl try to kiss me, and I had a guy named Joffrey, like, no lie, his name was Joffrey. He showed me his license. He bought me a whiskey. So I had a really, really good time drinking as Daenerys that night. So I think I really like cosplaying Dany because it's pop culture, but it's not, like, it's still acceptable at cons to do Game of Thrones, but it's recognizable in the real world too, so that's a really good one. Let's see. What are your tips for beginners? Go to Goodwill. Please. Oh my gosh. We have done so many just found cosplays or altered them, or like if you find a really good base, it's, oh my gosh. I had forgotten how, when I was buying the pieces for Asami, I'd forgotten how much fun that was to just like look through stuff and find the perfect item. Instead of having to make it from scratch. So, anything you can do to lessen the burden on yourself. If there's a shirt at Walmart that you can, you know, either dye or paint on or put whatever, like, sew, like embellishments on it to get the character's shirt, or if you go to Goodwill and you find a dress that you could just cut out and make your own pattern, or, you know, the perfect item is out there. And if you spend less money on it, that's great. So that's my tip. Don't ever be afraid to just go for the cheap option, because it's the best feeling when you get done with the costume and you're way under budget. You're like, wow, I get to spend this at the con. How do you feel about couples cosplay? Love it. Love it. Me and Ross, I guess you can think of it two ways, like group cosplay, or actual couples cosplay. Like, I really, really love cosplaying a canon couple with Ross. It's really fun. It's a nice bonding. But then me and Kat, you know, when we have Meg and Hades, or Victorique and Cordelia and Cujo with Ross, you feel more complete with your costume. You feel like you have a comrade in your situation. So yeah, I'm all about couples cosplay. I almost didn't write this one down. Number 10, how did you get so awesome? Thanks, Maddie. I don't know how to answer this. I decided a long time ago that, I guess about the time that me and my ex broke up, that I wasn't going to allow poisonous people in my life anymore. And it took a lot of, like, real gumption and real resolve and a lot of tears to train myself to get rid of people that are harmful to me, because I brought them into my life for a reason. And when people, you know, change or show their true colors to you, and all you can think of is the good times, it's really, really damaging to you. So it takes a lot of practice to keep that negativity away from yourself. When you're in the moment and you're mad, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm done with you. But when you start remembering, like, all your good memories, you're like, wow, I miss this person, like, maybe we can work through it or whatever. But I've stopped giving third chances. I'll give you a second chance, but I'm much, much happier in my life, because anyone who brings negativity into it, that's it. Like, I don't put up with it anymore. So I feel like that's a really important part of who I am, that I don't, like, I put my happiness above other people's. So that's kind of deep, I guess, but that's it. So if you could be any animal or creature, what would it be? Oh God, when I was little, I was obsessed with unicorns. and it was, I think that would be cool if, like, if we're talking fantasy things, because yeah, like, you're elegant and you have magic and you're a horse, and you know, that would be cool. But hold on, people are home. Okay, supper's here. But okay, so if we're talking fantasy, unicorns, awesome. But as far as a real animal, probably like a cockatoo. You get to live a really long time, and you get to fly, and you can, you're really smart, and you can learn things, and you can communicate with people, more or less, and you have a cool, like, thing that pops up when you get excited. So sounds like a good life to me. Number 12, what is your favorite classic cosplay? So this is the last one. I had to think really hard. The person who asked this said pre-2010, which is when I started cosplay. So I wasn't really aware of much before then. So I don't know, like, specific people's costumes, but I'm always partial to Pyramid Head. Like, I wanted to do that for a little while, and then I lost my motivation when I wouldn't like wearing something on my head all day, I think. But if you do, kudos to you. It seems like it's really heavy. Even if you use light materials, there's just a lot of it. So yeah, Silent Hill 2 was one of the first horror games I ever played, and that's definitely classic. And yeah, I guess that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I am going to go eat my sushi, and let me know in the comments or on the page if you liked it, hated it, want me to do something like more or different, or just any feedback you want to give me. Thanks for being interested in me, and thanks for like, you guys who are active all the time. I know your names, even if I don't know your face, or you know, if we haven't talked, always feel free to shoot me a message. I love getting to know you guys, and we can make plans to meet up at a con, or if you're ever in town. Yeah. Sorry, this was so impromptu, but like I said, I'm exhausted, and this is already over 20 minutes long, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. But I love you guys. Good night.